How is everyone doing today? We are going to be talking today on our webinar Wednesday about a very, very important subject matter, which is lead sources. And what do I mean by that, guys? I'm talking about lead sources, basically streams of places where we actually pick up seller and buyer clients to work with. So if this is your first time on my webinar Wednesday, thank you so much for joining. I'll be sharing my screen with all of you, and you can definitely ask me a question on the chat right there. If you have any questions, I also have my cell phone right next to me in case you would like to text me. So I'm just going to do a quick test to make sure we're all good, and then we're going to go ahead and get started, guys, because we have a quick, awesome webinar that we're going to be doing today. So I'm just going to go really quick to make sure we're good. All right, so let's get going. All right, so first and foremost, when we talk about real estate lead generation and prospecting, there's one thing that I have to remind you guys of, and I think most realtors don't really grasp this. And the fact is that most things are long-term return on investment. So what we need to look at is, do we have the resources and the time and the money to give it the time needed for the return on investment? Lead generation in real estate can be done in so many different ways, and each of the different ways offer a different ROI term or a different time. So it's important to understand what that is, and also do your own experimentation and testing within your own preferred areas, so that we're not stopping right before we're actually going to harvest, which is usually what happens. So typically, this is what the business investment cycle looks like. You spend money on X, product X, or on your lead generation source, like mail outs, Facebook ads, Google AdWords, whatever you're doing to actually get your name out there, and you see no results. So then you stop spending, and then you start spending on something completely else. This is what that means. So we're spending money on Facebook, we're getting no results, so then we stop spending, and then we change our mind, and now we're going to jump onto Google AdWords. Why? Because we didn't give it the time that it needed to actually start to harvest. Second situation, you spend money on X, and then you spend money on Facebook advertising, you get no results, and you keep spending the money on there, and then you go broke, which is not fun either. And then the third one is you copy the competitor, which doesn't work because typically right now, especially with technology, they can actually hide what you're doing. And so, I'm sorry, what they're doing as far as to get ads out. And so they don't want the competition to know. So when you're copying competition, it doesn't help you at all. And then you copy the competition, you get no results, and then the competitor stops, and then you stop too. So as you can see, this is an ugly business investment cycle, because we're either going broke or we're spending money on things that actually don't even work. So real estate, especially as you begin, you have to be careful where that money is going out to, and you got to be strategic and cut out the bleeding. So today, that's why I want to focus on the things that actually are working, that you can get on to doing ASAP with very little investment. So when we talk about lead sources, think of it this way. So this is a stool, a regular stool, and there are a lot of different legs. When you start as a new agent, your lead sources, like I said, we can lead generate in many different ways. You're probably going to have maybe 1 to 2 that are going to really be bringing you in that business. As your business grows, you will start adding more legs to the stool, which represent the lead sources. What that means is that your stool is going to get stronger to sit on, right? And so the more lead sources, or the more legs you have to that stool, the stronger your business is. But as a new agent, we don't want you to try to do all of it. We want you to systemize each lead sources and get it down really good, so that you in turn can start adding more streams of sources for you. So what are some of the core sources of business in real estate? There's signed calls, there are expireds, there are FSBOs, just sold, just listed calls, or postcards or mail outs. Notice of default, going after people that are actually going into foreclosure. Your sphere of influence is huge. Networking, of course, it's a relationship business. It's about being in front of people. Internet, which we're going to talk about, online lead gen, open houses. There's tenants, there's cold calling. I mean, I just listed a few of them. If you take our Real Estate Success Series course, which is a 1-week crash course that's offered every month. Next month in April, will be offered April 10th through the 14th at the Carolyn office in Scottsdale. It's a 1-week crash course. We actually focus one day just on this. What are all the different ways you can lead generate and how to actually do it? So the Harvard Review says that you never want to compete on price. You have to really learn how to sell your fees. So really be able to deliver an incredible value proposition. And then number 2, you got to focus on revenue growth. The customer needs, how do I serve in a unique way? What makes me stand out from all the other realtors that they're hearing from? Because business is just 2 things, guys. It's innovation and marketing. So as your business grows, when we look at producers, somebody who's making about $50,000 to $70,000 a year, you know, they have a good business going. They have about 1 to 3 lead sources, 3 different ways where they actually are getting this business. When somebody has 4 to 6 lead sources, you know, we consider that business great. You know, you're getting into the 6 figures. And you have different multiple streams coming in, and then 10 plus lead sources. That's an extraordinary agent. That's somebody who's really dominated in all areas and is consistently working either by referral or, again, the lead sources, they're working as well-oiled machine and have systems behind them that are getting them these results. For top producing agents, and especially for any of your new agent, there are 4 core lead sources where we can begin. Those are your database, your geographical farm, online, which is really stepping up the game completely, especially in the last 5 years, and then open houses. These are the 4 that are going to get you the most traction, the most money for your time. I'm going to go into each one of them briefly so you understand what they mean and how to actually get into doing some lead generation yourself. So first and foremost, your database, guys. Database is going to be the cheapest return on investment, guys, because it's free. We in our virtual access center have a database for you that you can use that already has preset campaigns, which means that all you have to do is and feed the database, enter people, enter contacts in there. And you got to know your numbers. You know, as your business starts to grow, you'll track your own numbers. But just to give you an idea, for every 50 people that you've never met before, they're brand new contacts that you're meeting, that you put into the database, that you market to once per month, you can expect to close 1 transaction a year. So that's a ratio of 50 people, 1 email per month, 1 transaction. Now, for every 12 people that you meet that are from your sphere of influence or their past clients or family that you put into your database, that you email market to once a month, you can expect to close 1 transaction a year. So when you're looking at your business plan and you're a new agent that wants to close 12 transactions a year, if you have nobody if you're new to the state and you know absolutely no one, then 50 times 12 transactions, you're going to need 600 contacts for the entire year. Now you get to really say, well, 600 divided by 12, divided by how many weeks in my month, divided by the number of days I'm working a week. Now you can actually have a valid number that states this is how many contacts I need per day, per week, per month, and per year. So it's a no-brainer, right? And if you do have some sphere of influence here already, then that's going to be more powerful. Maybe you have 60 people that you're going to put into your database that are your past clients or if your new sphere of influence. Then just from those 60 people that you market to once a month, you can expect to close 5 transactions just from there. So if you're wanting to close 12, you got 7 more you need to close with brand new people. So you times 12 times 7, and that gives you the number of additional contacts you're going to have to bring in order to really meet your 12 transaction goals. Now, knowing the numbers is as important as setting up your database. And I have a whole other webinar on how to do that in the VAC. But remember, guys, in the database, we have our campaigns that are already set up for you. Our monthly newsletter goes out once a month, which then you're meeting your goals of 1 email market a month. And then the buyer and seller campaigns, here's your newsletter that's already preset. Tells you when it's going to go out and you can actually preview it. And then, you know, your custom campaigns, your other campaigns, like your buyer campaign, they're strategically more closer together because these are leads that need to be touched, more often. And you have a seller campaign. So there's different campaigns in here for different types of leads that will communicate for you on your behalf. You have to have a running database or else you don't have a business. And as your business grows, as the years progress, you'll be able to track numbers yourself. And eventually one day when you're ready to sell your real estate business, this is what you're going to be selling. Okay. So the database is very, very important, guys. And knowing your numbers and understanding how to set it up is not that hard. I can set up your database in the VAC in probably 4 minutes. So look at the webinar that I did on that, setting up your groups and all that good stuff. And then of course we have training on that next Tuesday. No, I'm sorry, next Thursday, the 30th at the Northwest office. The next lead source, geographical farming. Why geographical farming works is because any type of lead generation, any type of prospecting or marketing, the key to it, regardless of what it is you're doing, is the consistency factor. So when I talk about geographical farming, I talk about picking an area, doing a lot of research on it, which title companies can help you pull data and all that great stuff, doing the research on it, and then deciding what your marketing strategy or your prospecting strategy is going to be for that particular area. Because perception is everything, and if they keep seeing you there, then that's, you know, their perception is that you're the go-to gal or girl or guy. So this right here is my sample farm calendar. Now I can tell you that in some farms or some neighborhoods we've tracked, you know, one mail out a month, you get your first listing after 18 months. So it's not overnight, guys. It's that consistency. Most agents just stop after 2 months and they're like, well, it didn't work. It's not that. If you want to decrease the number of months it takes for you to get a listing, then you have to increase the number of touches you do in a particular farm in an area. And so this farm calendar that I created gives you an idea of different ways you can touch your farm. And it goes into, you know, 1 week of calls, of phone calls, of mail outs, of door knocking, and of Facebook or Google AdWords advertising. And the following week, an open house within your farm area. And even within the open house, you have the ability to do pre-marketing where you're going to be seen in the neighborhood once again. And as you can see, week 1 and week 2 are unique, but then it repeats itself week 3 and week 4. So with this strategy, with geographical farming, I have phone calls, I have mail outs, I have door knocking, and I have internet online marketing. That's 4 different ways that I'm impacting my farm in just 1 week. That's incredible. You think that's going to decrease the number of months it's going to take you to get that listing? Absolutely, my friends. So I don't tell you, especially as new agents, to do all of this. I say pick the one that you want to start with and then do that one really, really well, and then slowly start adding the activities that you're doing within the farm area. So this is a sample calendar that I can share with all of you. And if you have any questions on specific activities within the farm, I can help you do that as well. Online lead generation, guys, I can't tell you how important this is now. And I know many agents have already, you know, let go of the paper campaigns and everything because of things like Google AdWords, which is basically the pay-per-click type platform where you are putting your message in front of people that are already looking for product that you're selling, which is homes, right? And so I'll be doing a technology class on this tomorrow. There's Facebook advertising, which is definitely exposure marketing. There's a few things you need to be aware of with Facebook advertising and Google AdWords. You have to have the right tools, which means a high converting website, a good message, and then the ability to stay consistently in follow-up mode, because these leads are very different, you know, very different than an open house lead or a phone lead. There's also systems that will manage your Google AdWords and Facebook ads for you, where you can just simply pay a la carte for leads. Systems include things like Conversion, Boomtown, Money Tree, and Commissions Inc. I didn't put on here. Real Geeks is also another one. And so those are systems that will run your ads for you, and then your job is really to convert them into clients. So online lead generation is a whole beast in itself. You can check out my Facebook ads for realtors webinar to learn a little bit more. And then tomorrow join me at the Northwest office at 11 a.m. so I can talk about Google AdWords. And then we have open houses. This is, please note, do not underestimate the power of an open house. Now, if you just go and show up with your open house signs that same day, and you don't have a strategy to create really good open houses, then it's not going to be as effective, right? In your farm calendar, I actually gave you a 5-day pre-open house process as to how to execute a very high impact mega open house. There is also a webinar on this on my YouTube channel that you can check out. But in essence, what you're really doing is that on Monday, you're researching the area where you're going to focus on getting that open house. And if it's not your listing, you're going to find an open house within as close as possible to your farm area, right? So you're going to identify the open house and secure it on Monday, because the rest of the week you have a lot of other stuff to do. You got to prepare for marketing for the open house. So prepare either flyers, prepare also for what you're going to be taking to your open house. You're going to visit the comps in the property. You're going to create a video. There's no such thing as a new agent, only a such thing as an unprepared agent. So you got to start way beginning on the week with all of this so that you're prepared for your open house on Saturday. Other opportunities to market on open house are 50 calls, inviting people to the neighborhood. We have a free system for you guys called Cold Realty, where we'll give you 1,500 records around the area of your open house. And that's the easiest call to make. Now you're calling them and saying, hi, I'm calling to invite you to 123 ABC Street. I'll be hosting an open house this Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. We also know that when one house gets listed, another one quickly gets listed shortly after. And so I'm offering a free market analysis of your home. Are you interested? Yes or no? Basically, you're meeting the neighbors. You're talking to them about the open house and you're telling them to come on by, and you're building rapport. So it's definitely a good strategy to try to get as close as possible to the area where you're already focusing in. Then we also have 50 door hangers that you can check out from or take out from us for free. You can get those from my admins up front. They will give them out to you. You can then on Friday, go visit 50 people around that area and invite them over. And again, you may not be selling that open house, but you're lead generating for new buyers and new sellers. And then you have the opportunity to promote your open house on Facebook and on Google AdWords and different AdWords. There's a million ways to get it online. And now you have, even if it's not your listing, you're still promoting that open house, which is gonna, you're driving them to your site or you're driving them to your landing pages. Now you can convert them as clients as well. So this is just a 1 week pre-open house process that you can start doing. There's many more things that you can do to generate leads, but I can't tell you enough how awesome open house leads are, because they're meeting you in person. It's not on the phone, it's not on the internet. So the ability for you to engage is enormous. And also to build rapport and trust. I mean, guys, this is the way to go, really, to get them to use you. If they're there without their realtor, it's obviously for a reason. So do not underestimate the power of open houses. On the weekends, there's never, ever a wrong time to do an open house. On the weekdays, just be strategic. Is it a community near a school where moms are picking up their kids, where you get exposure? Or is it, a active adult community where the people hang out there all the time? So never a wrong time, guys. It's better to be out there than to be sitting at the office, playing on your computer. Because the people are out there, so we need to get contacts to feed that database, and this is your core goal. So open house is huge. So those are the 4 top ones that are going to help you tremendously. Regardless of what it is you're doing, you still have to create systems around each of the lead streams, guys, because the money is not in the lead generation in itself. The money is in the follow-up. It's in the follow-up you do with the open houses, the continued cultivation of the relationship. That's where the money is. The money is in the follow-up of that FISBO, of that expired, whatever it is that you're going after. The second thing is you got to track all your activities. You got to track what you're doing and what results you're getting so that you can do more of that. Use our KDNA system. It's free. If you need your user or password, let me know so I can get it to you. It's completely free and lets you track everything. And then number 2, am I being profitable? What is my cost per lead? If I'm spending money on Facebook, if I'm spending money on even print, whatever it is, how much is it costing me and how many leads am I actually getting back, and are they converting into sales? Because if they're not, then I'm going to stop doing that. I'm going to cut the bleeding out. As long as I understand also that there is a long-term return on investment on certain activities that are, especially if you're paying money though, then you should understand what that return on investment is before you start investing. Number 3, embrace technology to automate. There's so many apps out there. There's so many things that can help you streamline, like your drip campaigns, things like that. It really eliminates the chicken running around the head syndrome and provides first-class service across the board. Your consumer notices, your clients notice, you notice in your business because you're more organized. And always be innovative. Is there a better process? It's kind of interesting to really jot down for a week the things you're spending your time on, and looking at how certain activities actually take you so long. Guys, Google is free. Anytime that you're spending too much time on it, either delegate it or research how you can spend less time on it. And always look at our tools too to see what can help you save some time. Skills, preparation does set you apart. There's no such thing as a new agent, only an unprepared agent. So you all consistently have to be practicing your scripts. Here's a great link that'll help you with objections. We give you guys our book of scripts as well. Helps you with any type of objection, CMA, presentations, closes, etc., etc. Role play, stay accountable with somebody and role play at least once a week. And really practice those scripts, because you're not going to get better unless you do going to listing presentations or practicing. Just like an athlete, you got to practice before you get to the NFL. I'm sorry, to the Super Bowl. Thorough research before any listing presentation, that's a given, or buyer's presentation. You can also drop off an email pre-listing appointment package. So have these ready to go, so you're not running around like a chicken without a head. Arrive early, of course, and walk the home by yourself. Do a lot of research so that you're not a new agent. Pricing, when it comes to listing, this is a skill set that gets better and better. It's just be a student of your market. Every Monday, make it a research Monday, where I'm researching what's happening, new listings and solds, et cetera, et cetera. Focus on your main comps and activities. Be a student of the property, understand floor plans, and then keep your presentations as current as possible to let your ongoing research do its talking. Again, pricing, pre-qualifying for motivation, price ahead of the market to avoid chasing it, and always secure price reductions in advance if you do have an overpriced listings. So in conclusion, mindset is key. I've always talked about that. Get ready with your skill set. Pricing, knowing your market, and then growth and innovation is always consistently going to be needed. So are you guys all ready to take over the industry? Because I know I am. So it's important to remember you can pick anything you want in real estate to lead generate. It is going to work if you are consistent. Always the key is consistency. So thank you guys so much for joining my webinar Wednesday. I will be posting the replay here on our Facebook group close page. So check it out and pick one of these lead sources. Learn to systemize it. And if you don't know how, then just reach out to me so that I can help you. Thank you guys. Have a very, very great evening. Talk to you all soon. Bye.